Okay, let's go.
You ever feel like you're just stuck, trapped in a loop of overthinking? Like your brain has a million tabs open and you can't close any of them? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful skill that helps you get unstuck from all that noise. It's called cognitive diffusion.
Our source material kicks things off with this brilliant metaphor. Just think about it. Your thoughts are like a pair of glasses. If the lenses are tinted with anxiety, the whole world is going to look threatening. If they're tinted with optimism, you'll see opportunities everywhere. They literally color your entire reality.
And that's the real question, isn't it? What happens when you're looking at your life through a lens that's warped by self-criticism or worry? Well, you start to believe that the distortion is reality. And that, right there, is how we get stuck.
So, to get free, we first need to understand these two very different states of mind. It's all about the difference between being fused with your thoughts and the incredible freedom that comes from what we call diffusion.
So what on earth is cognitive fusion? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's when you're so tangled up and merged with your thoughts that you can't tell where they end and you begin. So you don't just have the thought, I'm a failure, you just are a failure. It feels like a fundamental truth. You're looking through the thought as if it's a crystal clear window to the world.
Diffusion, on the other hand, is the antidote. It's all about this tiny but life-changing shift in perspective. Instead of looking through your thoughts, you learn to step back and look at them. Instead of being stuck to them, you create a little space. It's the powerful realization that your mind is constantly trying to sell you things, and you don't have to buy every single thought it offers. You get to choose.
Okay, I know this can all sound a little abstract. So let's make it super concrete with a story from our source material about a guy named Miguel. His story is a perfect example of what it really feels like to be fused with your thoughts.
So here's Miguel. He's got great friends, and he genuinely loves hanging out with them. But parties were a whole different beast. The moment he'd walk in, this wave of anxiety would just crash over him. He'd start overthinking every word, every joke, every little interaction, until he was so tangled up in his own head that he'd just leave early, missing out on the exact thing he wanted, connection.
And this is the kind of stuff that was just on repeat in his brain. He was totally fused with these thoughts. He wasn't just having the thought that he was a loser. In that moment, he was a loser. And man, that's the real pain of fusion.
So what was driving all this anxiety? Well, it turns out Miguel was living his life according to a secret, hidden rule. A rule he didn't even consciously know existed, but it was pulling all the strings. And here it is. The unwritten rule was, I must never make anyone feel bad. Just think about that for a second. What an impossible standard to live up to. He honestly believed that if he made a joke that didn't land perfectly, or even just said no to a friend, it meant he was a bad person. No wonder he was so anxious. He had completely bought into this thought. But then, he had his breakthrough moment. The second he could step back and just notice this rule, to see it as just a sentence in his head, its power started to evaporate. He realized it wasn't a command from the universe he had to obey, it was just a thought. And that meant he had a choice. Okay, so Miguel's story shows us the problem perfectly. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the solution. It's time to open up your own personal diffusion toolkit. All right, this first tool is the foundation of everything, and it's ridiculously simple. Let's try it right now. Just pick a thought you're having. Let's use, this is boring. Instead of just letting that thought be reality, you simply rephrase it. You say to yourself, I'm having the thought that this is boring. See that? There's already a little bit of distance. Now let's add one more layer. I notice I'm having the thought that this is boring. That little linguistic trick is huge. It creates space between you, the observer, and the thought itself. And there are so many fun and creative ways to do this. You can actually give your anxious mind a name. Oh, there's my worry monster again. You can even politely thank your mind for its contribution, like, hey, thanks for that thought, mind, noted. Or, and I personally love this one, you can say your most anxious thought out loud in a silly cartoon voice. I promise you, it is really hard to take the thought, I'm a complete loser, seriously when you say it like Daffy Duck. So all these tools, all these techniques, they all point to one incredibly powerful conclusion. You are not your mind. Think of your brain like a thought-generating machine. Its job is to produce thoughts, all day, every day. Some are useful, some are junk. Your job isn't to stop the machine, it's to choose which thoughts you actually pay attention to. Now this is a really important point.
Diffusion is not about waging war on your thoughts or trying to wrestle them into submission. In fact, fighting with your thoughts is just another way of being fused to them. The real goal is much simpler. It's just to unhook, to stop letting every random, unhelpful thought be the one driving the bus.
So, if you only take one single thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. The next time a tough, sticky thought shows up, you don't have to debate it, you don't have to believe it, you just have to ask yourself one simple question. Is this thought helpful right now? Does buying into this thought move me even 1 inch closer to the life I want to live?
And right there, that's your freedom. It's that simple. If the thought is helpful, great, you can use it. But if it's not, you don't have to fight it. You can just notice it. There's that old thought again, and just let it drift on by like a cloud in the sky, while you put your energy and your focus back on what truly matters to you.
Look, your mind is never going to stop thinking. That's its job. But from this moment on, you know the secret. You don't have to believe everything it says. You now have the power to notice, to create space, and to choose how you act. So the only question left is, what will you do with that choice?